Imagine it didn't even work. It didn't pop.
Okay.
Maybe it's one of those ones you have to push inside.
Or you cannot just open the bottle. You can just admit it to all of us.
I drink wine. I know how to open bottles. I'm very sure.
I'm just
But
saying.
here we go, second attempt. That is just that is
no, but what is wrong with the thing?
Yeah, you see, it's not my fault.
I think that there's something wrong with it actually. Ah, damn it.
Yeah, it's not my fault.
Please, you have another bottle of wine?
No, I don't. I only have one bottle.
I mean, I want this one. I want to.
And that, guys, is how there is no wine on this episode.
No, there has to be wine.
Which is an introductory episode to our podcast. Hi, everybody. I'm Isaac Adekme, and I'm the co-host of Road to 30 podcast. You see how she never actually understands anything. We're about to start the video and you're doing anyhow. Is that not how we'll start it? You know what? Actually, I can't actually open this bottle of wine. After much stress, we have finally popped the wine. Now it's not coming out. Can you see that Nigeria is just against us in this country? I don't understand.
Oh, it didn't go completely.
There we
Isaac,
go.
it's not meant to be.
Oh,
I'll be drinking your finger.
Ooh! You've drunk us.
Yeah.
That's a mature joke. It's a very mature show. Because we're not kids. We're not kids.
Not kids, that's for sure.
We're not kids.
No, that's for sure. I am Dolapo Akitoye. Most people call me Dolly. You can call me whatever you want. A lot of people still eventually revert to calling me Dolly. So hey, I am half of the Road to 30 podcast. Half, bitch, half. Okay, you introduce yourself.
I'm like 3/4.
Don't give yourself
of
too much
the show
credit.
because I'm the, I'm the show. I'm the one that is on Road to 30.
Sure.
And Dolly is just. Oh, sorry, I didn't introduce myself. I am Isaac. I'm Isaac Adekonye. I still don't know how to pronounce my surname properly, but
Shame.
But here we are, and I am half of the show. When we came back to Nigeria, we were in quotes IJGB. So we're looking for something that would help us with content.
Both of us wanted to start different things anyway. We still wanted to both do podcasts, but different things. You feel me? Both of us had that idea separately before we even ever discussed a joint one. And then in the road to trying to do separate things, we found out that both of us were interested in doing the same. If you listen to episode 52 of the show, we addressed it. We called that episode Origin, Story and Celebrations, because that was our 1 year celebration. See, it's already completing my words. We've gone a long way. But yeah, that was what inspired it. It was a case of I wanted to do a podcast. She wanted to do a podcast. Yes. But we just realized that since we're living far from each other, then let's just come together. Divine intervention. 2 heads are better than one, as the Bible would say. So that was what happened, and then we decided to do a podcast. Yes, we did. After we had a discussion, and after we realized that this was something that we wanted to do, we started working on, what we wanted to talk about, what was important to both of us. At the time, when he wanted to do his own type of pod, he wanted to do something that was related to just coming back to Nigeria and trying to navigate all of that. Me, I wanted to do something much more female-centered, just about how it is being a Nigerian woman. I realized that there was a way that we could kind of make both of those things work, but we still didn't know what angle we're coming from. So eventually, after much discussion, we knew that we wanted to talk about things that were, just related to our journey in our 20s and how challenging it can be, the excitements that come with it, all those extra stuff. And we knew that there were other people that felt the same way that we did. So for me, I wanted to talk. I wanted people to listen to me talking. Yes. And I wanted He loves the sound of his voice. No, actually not that. I felt like I was a contrarian. I don't really have popular opinions. It was a call for people like me to be oh yeah, I feel that way too, but I'm not the loudest voice in the room. So that was kind of why. But then I found a friend that was not far, and I was like, okay, let's do this together. Oh, so that's what it was all about. about like the fact that I wasn't far.
Yeah, it was like you were an accessory to my greatness.
The bonus was that I wasn't far.
Yeah, the bonus was that
I wasn't far. That was the bonus. How you like just making me feel like, you know,
but you're an accessory.
I'm just a convenience.
She's a convenience.
Right.
We were accessories to each other's greatness, and that's how we ended up together on a podcast. We spent like an hour trying to find the name of it.
An hour?
Or a whole day.
Let me tell you, we spent days. What you mean?
Yeah.
We would meet for like maybe an hour a day trying to figure out what we wanted to call it. We checked all sorts of names. I remember the very first one that came up was Reflect, but I think it came up because that's the name of my sister's pod. For some reason it was in my head. I don't know why I forgot that was the name of her pod. And then we kept on looking at all kinds of names. It was always taken, just didn't work. And then one day we found a pod called Almost 30. And we're like, that is so perfect. But that is not our name. We can't take it. And then that's when we realized that 30 was a good benchmark. So from then we started looking for how we could name it in that kind of sense. So we thought of all kinds of things. Journey to 30, this thing to 30, 30 and this, 30 and that, and then finally we settled on Road to 30. Yeah.
It was a long process.
It was. It didn't happen like immediately. Like it took some time.
It was like, I was going to say it was a day, but it wasn't.
It wasn't a day. Like I can't even believe that he said it was like one day. It wasn't one day. It took some time. It was right. It was perfect.
Because you see, there are some things that you just have to just allow the man take.
Excuse me.
As in patriarchy has won this one. It is me.
I'll admit that I'm not the most organized person, but it doesn't have anything to do with me, him being a man, me being a woman. It's just our personalities, you know. So I mean, he has some strengths. I have some strengths. That's one of his strengths.
Make it sound like a relationship. Well, it's actually a professional.
I mean, it is. It's a professional relationship.
He has friends.
Yeah. So that's where he.
And then that's how it works.
I will give him that. He's more organized, I guess.
If there was a counter, this would be like 1-0 already. So
it's not a competition, bitch.
It's a competition. Life is about scarce resources, and we are competing. We die here, as they say on the streets. We die here.
Right here. We have an idea. We have a plan, I think. From the beginning, we've always had a plan. As soon as we knew that Road to 30 was the name of the podcast, I don't know, it almost felt like everything else kind of like fell into place. We just had an idea immediately on what the podcast was going to be called by the time we got to 30. We will change the name. That's all we'll say. But we're not going to say what the name is because we don't want nobody to steal it.
The name is going to be Agbaya the podcast. It's going to be Agbaya the podcast.
But yes, we do have a plan.
We have a plan, Sha, but I don't know. I think Agbaya the podcast.
Agbaya sounds good though. That wasn't the name we had in mind though, but it does sound good. We'll see.
Also,
see, someone will now take it.
Copyright before someone goes to take it. Yeah, Agbaya the podcast. On Instagram, Road to 30 Podcast. On Twitter, Road to 30 Podcast. On iTunes.
Yeah, if you have like an iPhone, there's like this podcast app. It's like there already.
Yeah, on SoundCloud.
On SoundCloud as well.
Pocket Cast.
Spotify.
Zencaster.
Lofty Cast.
Google
iHeartRadio.
Yeah, yes.
iHeartRadio.
Google Podcasts. Anywhere you listen to podcasts. But once you go on our Instagram, Road to 30 Podcast, there's like a link
yeah,
that goes to everything.
I think it's on our Twitter as well. So if you click the link in our bio, it will like show you all our locations basically. You can go there from there. I mean,
it's actually done. Yeah, I can't lie. I always tell stories before we start every episode. She has more flavor in her stories. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the way she tells it. But okay, fine. 1-1. The point is that yes, I still feel like
and he has his moments.
But I'll give
he has his moments. It's not like he's dull, but I mean, he alright.
Wow. Wow. You know, like Beyonce and Meg on that song. So you're like Meg and Beyonce.
First of all, Meg is amazing. But you're not Beyonce. I'm Beyonce. But Meg is amazing. I mean, she can twerk.
can't let us have anything. You see women, you just can't let us have anything.